Welcome to the GainzCast. Marc Lobliner here alongside
Matt Marano.
Man, it's a great day today, man. Beautiful day. We're back in town. We came back from Lobliner, Ohio, HQ. What a fast trip.
It's weird. The first trip that we did, I don't know. The 2 days felt like an entire week.
Yeah.
And then yesterday just flew by, but it was just as productive.
It was just as productive, just as fast.
Yeah.
So we drive out Sunday. We leave it around 11:30, 12 o'clock. We usually stop at a couple stores. We stopped at a couple vitamin shops on the way.
Yes.
And then we get a bunch of stuff done Sunday night. And then Monday we meet with the entire team. We get more stuff done. And then we drive home at around 5 o'clock on Monday. We hit Next Level Nutrition in Louisville. On the way home, just seeing our retailers, showing some love and saying hi.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah, but things are absolutely nuts. Things are absolutely nuts in the United States. You would never tell. You would never be able to tell where we're at or where we drove yesterday or in Loveland, Ohio, or in most parts of Louisville, the outskirts. And, you know, the thing is, a lot of things going on in the world, we in the suburbs have absolutely no idea what the hell is going on. I think I read a quote from Joe Rogan today on Instagram that somewhere there's some poor bastard sitting by a waterfall with no idea he's supposed to be mad right now. You know, he has no idea. He doesn't have Twitter. He doesn't have Instagram. And he's just sitting there just enjoying life and just enjoying it. And most people on both sides, that's the thing. Like everybody, there was minor celebrations, but now the left has gone nuts because they think, wait a second, Trump might actually win this thing.
When you say left, you mean the people who
voted for Biden.
Yeah, well, no. Also, the left, the people who are on the left that are more in the know. The general population still think that Biden won. It's clear and cut, and that's just the way it is, and he is the next president. But it is far from over.
It is so far from over with real clear politics never calling Pennsylvania or Arizona, with all the recounts, with all the legal challenges. We have till December, December 14th when the electoral, the delegates get together. And that's what's really crazy. That's when it goes down. You know, that's when you have to kind of have a winner. And Al Gore, I believe, didn't concede till December 12th. And newspapers across the country, I'm old enough to remember this, said Gore is president. President Gore. President-elect Gore. And then it turns out he ended up losing. Bush challenged. I still don't know if that was the right call, but that's where the legal process went. But one thing we do know is nobody knows anything. And there's more and more allegations. We don't know how the Supreme Court is going to rule. We know that this is going to set precedent over every other election for the rest of our lifetimes.
Yeah.
So it's a very important decision among state and federal courts.
I mean, this is the first election that mail-in ballots were allowed to the masses. Like, you didn't need an excuse. You didn't need to get an absentee ballot. Like, this is the first one, and it's a total clusterfuck.
I'm not a fan because now, if everybody was honest, I would be like, sweet. But honestly, they're not honest.
If everyone was honest, say everyone in this situation, we know it's not, but say everyone in this situation was honest and these are truly just glitches, I'm still not a fan.
Well, the glitches, unfortunately, I can't buy because they keep going for Biden. I have yet to hear of a Trump glitch. And I know, oh, you're a Trump guy. No, I can't say it more emphatically. We are not Trump guys.
No.
But if all of the votes that were all of the mess ups went in Trump's favor,
we'd still be like, this is fucked.
We'd be making fun of Donald Trump right now. We'd be wearing orange face, just hitting a piñata of Donald Trump, just saying he's crooked. Now, was Biden behind this? I'm not going to suggest that a guy who's been in office in the government for 47 years, done absolutely nothing as a part of the swamp, does anything nefarious at all. That'd be crazy of me to suggest.
It'd be weird.
I doubt he has anything to do with any wrongdoing his entire career.
It's almost like you're insinuating he was against segregation.
Well, he was against desegregation.
Well, there we go.
He was kind of,
he was very for segregation.
But now they're kind of like, well, he was against forced segregation, desegregation. I'm like, that's desegregation. You kind of have to force it. You can't be like, all right, how do we kind of have to split. We got to end this right now.
I forget the guy's name, but the guy that we had the conversation with in New Jersey.
Oh, Ian Smith?
No. The at the Aries Nutrition event.
Oh, Patrick?
No, that's the
other guy, the Merca guy?
No, the one with the dreads. He was competing.
Oh yeah. I forgot his name.
Yeah, he was talking. He's a black gentleman.
Yes.
Very, very well educated.
Very well, more well educated than both of us combined.
Yeah,
even more impressive than Matt's sculpting degree.
But he was against forced desegregation. He was like, it would naturally occur.
He was pro segregation. Actually, he was pro segregation. He was like cool with it.
Yeah, I don't.
I was, but he made sense. He was a smart enough guy where it was a good argument. Like you can see yourself slowly agreeing with him, and you're like, damn it. Stop.
You got to slap yourself.
You're a racist, Mark. You're a racist. Stop it. So, I mean.
Just put that soundbite on Instagram.
Yeah. You're a racist. You're a racist. And, but I mean, the guy was smart. We had a great conversation, and he's one of those, you know, he doesn't like government really getting involved in anything. I call him more of a I'd peg him as a libertarian leaning.
Well, I think that's what it was, is that he didn't want government to get in the way of desegregation, that it was something that would naturally occur. Because when you brought up then events like this wouldn't happen, he was like, no, they would. It would just take a little bit longer. It would be more naturally occurring, and it would just evolve over time.
And people wouldn't be as mad.
Yeah.
Like Joe Biden and his racial jungle. I just want to say that I'm anti-segregation, for the record.
Yes, I'm very much against segregation.
I am not for segregation at all. Excuse me, I think that's the Rona. Hold on one second. I need to sip on some Regeneron.
Get me out of this room.
You've already had it, bro.
I know.
Like you're COVID. Well, actually, I think you can get it again.
Haven't you heard, bro? You can get it again.
Shit. What's the point of a vaccine? Never mind. Okay, so.
I was right, bro. I was right.
What's really crazy right now, think about it. Would you guess that the company that cured erectile dysfunction, that literally cured the flaccid dick, is the one that's going to cure COVID, and that's Pfizer. I love that company. I love it. I'm injecting whatever they make in my body.
I did see it coming.
Shit. I saw it coming. Yeah. I mean, dude, any company that can make your dick hard with a simple pill within an hour, like no matter how bad your dick is, like you can have a decrepit 90-year-old Joe Biden dick and your dick will still get hard. That's how good Pfizer is. If they can make a flaccid dick hard on a medicine that was originally meant for heart patients and they messed up and created a boner pill, dude, they can cure anything.
Also, just what was the fad like a year ago where people would take like pop a Viagra, then go to the gym?
Oh, that's not even that's still a thing.
That's still a thing?
There's actually bodybuilders. I'm not going to mention his name, but one of my friend bodybuilders, he always, when he got on stage, he'd always have a partial boner. And people who are in bodybuilding know who I'm talking about. And y'all can guess down below, but he always had a partial boner on stage. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to like pry into your life or anything, you know, but does bodybuilding, like, do you know you're aroused? He's like, bro, you know, I take some Cialis, like, and he takes a good load, a good bit of Cialis.
Yeah.
And enough to like stimulate. Like Cialis is one of those things where if you, and I've taken Cialis. So Cialis is one of those things where if you take one or two, it works as recommended. You know, like you're fine. You're not going to get a boner. But then if something happens, you got a boner. Like a boner. Like not just a boner, but like a boner that you can fucking break through concrete with.
Got it.
Okay, now you got the visual. So now he took like 5 or 6 times that dose. So like literally if a fucking wind blew, the dude's getting a hard on. So imagine being on stage in front of 1,000 people posing, and you're like your little posing trunks just rub a little bit on the tip, and all of a sudden you start getting aroused. You just got to go with it. You just got to roll with the punches. Like you got a little hard on there, and you're just gonna fucking roll with it. You know,
some judges might like that.
You know, most judges will.
Yeah.
Most judges will. So I got to give props to Pfizer. And I mean, we've given a lot of thought and conversation about the vaccine. This isn't even on our list right here. It's just the beauty of a podcast is when you do YouTube videos, you got to kind of stay on topic. And I always got in trouble for that because I have no idea how to title my video. And the beautiful thing about podcasts is we can go off script.
Yes.
The vaccine, I have been asked. I made a couple jokes on Twitter and Instagram about, will I take the vaccine? And the answer is I don't know. I'm leaning towards no because it's a weak ass virus for us. It just is. It's a flu or less for young men. Kills less people, especially young, healthy people. It kills less young people than the flu does. And I never liked the flu shot to begin with. So getting a COVID shot for me would be kind of anti what I stand for. I'm a big fan of like smallpox and fucking measles, but like a weak ass virus like flu and COVID that a healthy human being should be able to beat. That's one of those things I'd rather just get it and build up my own immunity if I get it. And most people get it are asymptomatic. And then on one note, then you have people on Twitter, well, if you're asymptomatic, you can still spread it. I'm like, no, you can't. Who says that? Well, the World Health Organization, CDC.
But since when do we trust them?
Exactly. Like CDC has flip-flopped. The CDC director, this fat fuck, he gets up and Robert, whatever, he gets up and he says, you know what's more effective than a vaccine? This mask. You mean the same mask your organization spent the last 100 years telling us does fucking nothing? Shut the fuck up. So here's the deal. If we have vaccines, we have masks. COVID needs fucking strap on masks if you want, take the vaccine. We should have no discussion of COVID ever again because CDC director said masks are awesome. He said they're better than vaccines. And Fauci says we need a vaccine to move on. So we just double killed COVID. It's like the Walking Dead. It's like you didn't just like fucking stab them in the head. You cut their head off right afterwards. It's fucking crazy. Like nobody can give a concrete answer. People are like, you're just going out irresponsibly killing people. I'm like, no.
We don't go anywhere.
No, we don't leave our property. And if we do, it's to go somewhere like, and Matt and I mask up. We don't go into store. Like if there's a, we want you to wear a mask sign. Now, if we go in, we stopped at a rest stop in Bumfuck, Kentucky. I believe it was actually called Bumfuck, Kentucky.
No, it was Taco something.
Yeah, it was next to Taco John's.
Yeah, Taco John's.
So anyway, it was on the way from Ohio to Tennessee. And we walk in, we were mask on, game on, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody had no mask. Even though on the door it said wear a mask.
We got looked at funny.
I took that mask right off, bro. I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to be that guy. It was like the opposite of what happens in every other city.
It's weird.
Dude, the rural areas, they got it down. They're like, we ain't wearing no fucking mask. We're not doing that shit. But it doesn't matter if I'm mimicking a white redneck. We had Latinos in there not wearing a mask. You had black people in there not wearing a mask. In the rural places, not just because they're fucking redneck Trump voters. It's because rural areas just don't like being told what to do.
That's true.
They don't. And I love that freedom. I love them. I'm not mad at them. But, you know, and I bet you their infection rates are less because their social distancing is naturally like 10 miles apart. You know,
their houses come pre-social distance.
But will I take the vaccine right now? It's a no. It's a no for me, dog. There's no need. But what happens if certain things are given and taken away? Like that's a big question. What if I can't fly without the vaccine? What if I can't? And then how do they, with the HIPAA laws, there's another thing. Can they even ask you if you've had the vaccine? And if you lie about it, can they check?
No.
You'd have to overturn HIPAA, wouldn't you? Or you'd have to overturn privacy laws?
You would have to overturn HIPAA, and that would cause massive problems.
So the whole vaccine thing, they can't force you to take it based on, they'd have to change the medical laws or call some sort of an order. And Biden's mask mandate, it's funny because that's what these conservatives are going fucking crazy about, right? Dude, his first order is mandating masks. Actually, no. And then someone sent me a link. Can you believe he's doing this? And he's like, so basically what Biden says, because they're like, dude, you can't fucking mandate masks nationally. We live in a conservative county that has a mask mandate that nobody cares about, right?
Pretty much.
So here's the deal. His thing was, well, if the governors say no, I'm going to go to the mayors. That's not mandating masks nationally. That's called going to the manager instead of talking to the owner.
That's called being a Karen and crying to daddy.
Yeah. So, and the mayors, they're elected locally. If you're in a town like that town in Kentucky, they ain't doing that shit.
Was that a town or was that just two gas stations next to each other?
There were houses somewhere. Those people, I don't know. I just know that the people, but here's the thing, man. Those people drove through the same places we came from. So like they knew that was the spot because everybody else was wearing a mask.
Yeah. Not
at that gas station though.
Yeah.
They were just like, nope, we ain't wearing this. I'm okay. I'm going to pull this bandana right off my face. Oh man, that's what's great. But you know, we'll see. I just think it's, there's a lot of funny things, you know, I'm hoping that they do the stack. where they have one shot that gives you like a fucking long-acting Viagra and COVID. So it's like, you know, and then if you don't have it, you got COVID dick. It's like Deca dick.
Is that how they get you? They're just like, you know what?
If you give me if you give me like a
Viagra,
if you give me like a year-long Viagra with that fucking COVID injection, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. It's worth it. Like, I'll be walking around with my hard dick all over the place. Like, what's up? What's up? This is why I can't run for office. Can you imagine them playing this shit on the election? Like, fuck that.
You'd be laughing your ass off. They'll be like, yeah, I said that.
Yeah, I did that Instagram story the other day. We're not going to get into these fucking topics. I don't care. We're going to cut this to a half hour. We got shit to do, but check it out.
Yeah. Which one we covering? Where are we going with this?
So I don't even know where I was going. So I did a big Instagram story because my wife and I was going to run for office in 2022. Not going to lie. Congress, Tennessee. We have a good rep here. Marc Green, great guy.
Okay.
I voted for him. I'm happy with that vote. I don't want to run against him. He's in my district. I'm not going to beat him. He's that fucking good. But let's say local government. I'm not going into politics because I said, you know what? Because I've been in a libel case, a libel lawsuit. They bring up everything. Like, I had to watch YouTube videos with me like fucking making jokes and talking about dicks and this and that. I'm like, can you imagine if CNN played that and someone wrote back, he's like, that'd be the most awesome thing in the world. Can you believe candidate Marc Lobliner is talking about stinky vagina? It's like, yeah, actually, we can. We
believe it.
We actually believe it.
We've been subscribed for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, 500,000 people, no, 400,000 people on YouTube can't be wrong.
And it's like, at this point, there's no way.
Trump.
Well, no. What, Trump?
Trump has said shit. I never grabbed anybody by the pussy. I mean, I've touched a pussy before, but I've never grabbed it. Like, been like, come here.
I was going to say, at this point, there's no way people at CNN don't know who you are after the whole Chris Cuomo thing.
Yeah,
like, you're on their radar for sure.
So when he grabbed the vagina, did he grab it like a bowling ball and kind of pull it in with two fingers? How did he do that?
I mean, you're going to have to ask him.
I will. I'm going to have to have that conversation. Trump, the first question on my agenda is, so when you say grab him, I know what he meant. It's metaphorical. But that brings me to a lot of different things. So we go to the suburbs. Like, suburbs aren't seeing shit cities seeing. And half the people, like Matt said, a lot of people still think Biden won. I think a lot of people here are a little bit different. In a conservative county, they think Trump won and it's going to be overturned. I think it depends where you're living. Because I don't know.
I think there's still no winner. No one fucking knows.
There's no winner. I think I give it like, wow, what do you think Trump will win? I'm like, I give it 50-50 either way. And sometimes I'll go 55-45, but never over that until we get more stuff.
I'm still that what is it? The emoji with the shrug.
Yeah, the brunette or the blonde? Because I
was hoping I was a dude, but I guess we'll go.
I go with the blonde. I go with the blonde. I just do. But so that gets, so you look at the voter demographics, you look at males, you look at females, and you look at like the differences between men and women and how they vote. And, Biden picked up so many white males and Trump picked up so many minorities. And it's really funny to look at that because Trump was painted as this racist, bigot, misogynist, xenophobic orange man. Bad. And yet, boom, he goes and he loses the white male. So why do you think, Matt, white males?
Because they're scared to be called racist.
You think so?
Yeah.
So if they're scared, now here's something that we were talking about this on the way home. So you see men these days, and I don't want to stereotype, but you see a large portion or percentage or majority of men who I feel, I don't want to offend people, but I'm going to. I think the male species, we talked about this with Kurt Hawkzilla, I think the male species has become weak, has become beta, has become feminized, and I think chicks don't dig that. I think just biologically speaking, I think women look to men mainly like they want a man who is strong, who is a provider, who is responsible, who is a hard worker, who when they're walking down a dark alley, they're not scared because they know their man, if they go out, they're going to go out with a damn good fight. They want a man who'll stick up for what's right. He'll say what they feel. They want a man who they can grab onto their arm and not wrap their entire hand around it because they don't even lift. A lot of women go out there and they'll be like, ew, that's not what I want. I want a man who's sensitive. I want him to have, no, you don't want a man with fucking stick legs. You want a man who's powerful and who could get on top and control. That's what and I think some women are different. Some women want men to be men. And I mean, what do you think?
I completely agree. I never understood the whole, I guess, skinny jean culture of how
with their little stick legs.
With their little stick legs fitting in
no butt, and their pants are just falling down.
Well, I'm not looking at their ass.
I look at their ass. I'm judging. I look straight at that butt. I want to know where I stand against these young kids. Just saying. Well, I mean, as a female, like if I was, just looking at like our biological rules, like men are meant to, you look throughout history, men are out fighting wars, now conquering and hunting, and women are gathering and they're taking care of the homestead.
Yeah.
And those roles can change. My wife works really hard, very aggressive in business, but in our life, I'm still the man. Like when we walk down the street, someone talks shit to us, I don't look to her to beat their ass. She's looking at me like, yo, you gonna do something about this? Men should pay the tab when they go to dinner.
Yeah.
Things like that, I think we've kind of lost track of. And I think the women who say, hey, I don't like that, or they see a muscular guy, ew, you're telling me you want your guy when you touch him for it to just go in, for it to just, no, you want to grab on and feel a delt. You want to feel a quad. You want to feel a man. Like, I'm not saying they have to be fucking a professional bodybuilder like me, right? I'm not saying they need to be a hyperbole. Like, I'm beyond what you should be. This is not how, this is a fucking hyperbole. This is a caricature of what a male should be, right? I'm too big. I get it. This isn't, but like, you look at like who
but more
women,
on the end of, I guess, for lack of a better comparison, where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bigger. You're not as lean, which I think is a better thing for women because it's not as weird, But then you look at what women fawn over, like fucking the dude who plays Thor, fucking Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Like women, he's so hot. You don't see women look at like a fucking fat dude like Nacho Libre, whatever his name is. Jack Black. They're like, man, you look at The Rock, his fucking biceps and his chest, just fucking like women are like, oh, he's like 48 years old or whatever, but he's a fucking strapping guy, right? Like, if someone went and fucked with you, if you were at dinner, Black Lives Matter came up to your table, like, Black Lives Matter, Rock would be like, I'll choke slam you.
I mean, that's the thing with The Rock. He's all about man shit and he calls himself the silverback.
Yeah.
It's the whole animalistic, like law of the jungle type thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of people, Rock supported Biden. Rock has a lot of reason to do a lot of things that are well beyond all of our pay grades. I'm not hating on The Rock. He's still the fucking man.
Yeah.
He's still the man. Stone Cold. You look at the wrestlers. You look at the figures we look up to. Look at action heroes. It's like you look at Captain America, just the man. I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. And I think we're in a society
even the guy that played Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., not overly jacked. He definitely works out, though. He was in shape. He works out. But it's also that charisma, that macho attitude that goes along with
Confidence.
Where people were just like, all right, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, he's the fucking man.
Oh yeah, and here's what I get at. Like, I get this a lot on Twitter where I'll post. I'm really proud. Look, dude, I turned 40 in 10 days, some shit like that, 12 days. I'm so old I can't fucking count. I turned 40, and I'll be like, look, here's how I look. I'm really fucking proud of this. Really fucking proud. I'm really proud of the work I put into my physique, to my mind. I can't. Unfortunately, nobody gets excited. I can't post a picture of me reading a book. Hey, I listened to a great fucking audiobook today. No. So I post pictures of my physique. Ew. Women are like, ew, I would never want that. That's disgusting. It's like, you couldn't get that. You couldn't, because there's only less than maybe 0.2% of the population has any kind of leanness and muscle. We have a huge obesity rate. The rest of the men have no muscle. Nobody fucking lifts. You couldn't get a guy who not only has muscle, but has a fucking job and is somewhat responsible. You gave up. You married this little fucking weak pud, either a fat fuck or a dude in skinny jeans who, if the wind blows too hard, falls down. Can't fucking fix anything. Can't fucking do man shit. Can't lift anything. Can't protect you. Has no, and you go, where you want to go to dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go, honey? It's like, he's just a little bitch. You settled because you're not good enough to get someone who is that man. So you had to settle for someone who's less of a man than you are. And then you lash out when a man comes out and looks like a man, like, oh, he's just a chauvinist. He's a misogynist.
No, it's that you got rejected by a bunch of guys, probably more in line like with who we are.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, fuck all those guys. When really we have higher standards, as we should, than guys who are on the pudgier side, who are, for, I guess, let's just go with, we'll call them bitches, that, you know, will pretty much settle for anyone with a vagina that falls at their feet.
Yeah. Yeah. That falls at their feet. Well, here's the deal. Like, I know it comes with just having followers, right? But every bodybuilder friend I know, everyone, even the guys with fucked up faces, fucked up girls, like, it doesn't matter. And they could be broke. Bro, their DMs popping. Like, they got girls sending them nudes. Like, I guarantee you, you know, my kid's dad's down the road. They're not getting breast shots. They're not getting nudes. And the reason is, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm married. I don't want nudes. Please don't send me nudes.
Usually you can direct them all to Matt.
Yeah, you can direct them all. Send all the nudes to Matt. You know, I actually was, here's a tangent right here. Like, so when I was traveling a little bit, like, you know, like my wife and I had so we went to counseling, you know, and the therapist's like, dude, you know, you should probably keep my voice down because my wife's in the house and I don't want to hear this. She doesn't listen to this shit. So no, the therapist was like, you guys should, like, you know, just like pretend like you're dating. Like, just sounds good. So like my first thought is, you know, I'm in a hotel, I'm traveling, I'm like, dick pic. And well, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, the kids are looking through my pictures. I'm like, why are you letting the kids look through your pictures? That was the last dick pic I ever sent. I staged it too. I wore a women's watch so it looked bigger in relativity. And I'm just playing. At this point, she already knows how it looks. I'm like, fuck it, here it is. And she's like, well, why do I want to see that? Like, and another thing, dudes, don't send dick pics.
No, don't.
Because women don't like them. They're weird. And the penis is, like, I look at a vagina, like, that is a beautiful, beautiful vagina. Vaginas are beautiful. They're awesome. Even the ugly ones have some beauty to them in their own, like, unique way. You know, the roast beef ones? Like the Arby's.
The flippity flop.
Yeah. The ones that blow in the wind. I mean, there's some beauty to them. Like, there's nothing pretty about a penis. Like, no one's like, oh, look at that. I mean, unless you have one that's just shocking.
It looks like you have a deformed elephant.
Yeah,
come out of your lower abdomen. Like,
yeah, don't send the D pics, but of course, don't send them to me. I used to get those more than I don't get them often now. Like, I love the thing about gay dudes. I love them because they're not afraid to ask. They're like, hey, you ever think of experimenting? I'm like, I think at this point in my life, I would have done it. If I was thinking, I'm in my third at that point. I mean, the last time I actually will, I'm like, you know, I'm flattered. I'll say that I'm flattered, but, yeah, I'm married and I really don't like men in that way. And he's like, well, have you ever thought about it? I'm like, look, I've showered. Like, I played sports. Like, I played football and I've been in gyms my whole life. I've never walked into a shower for, like, in high school, we didn't have stalls. We had like rows. Was yours like this? We had rows of shower heads. It wasn't like LA Fitness.
No, we had individual stalls.
Bro, we had a trough. We had a cock trough. You know, we had a trough. And so we'd walk in there and you're naked and you're walking into a room full of 20 other naked dudes. And I played on a black team. It was very humbling. And so I'm just sort of playing. But so, you know, the thing is, like, I've seen many, many naked dudes. Like, many naked dudes. And I've never thought to myself, God, that penis. It's just awesome.
Also, you think about the sport you've been in your adult life.
Yeah.
You think by this time with bodybuilding, you would have been like,
I'd have made some cash. I'd have done the gay for, if I was gay, man, I'd do gay for pay. I'd slut myself out, make a whole bunch of cash. I mean, who cares? You know, but honestly, it's like, no.
But that also goes back to actually how we started this conversation in the car ride yesterday, where it was like, would you be a stripper?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'd go back to construction before I strip. But yeah, maybe I would if like that wasn't an option.
What if construction wasn't paying enough and you have like a family and you want to send your kids to a private school or something?
Why wouldn't I just send them to public school?
Okay, now you're just going beyond the question. Like what if you did construction during the day and then did a little bit of gay stripping at night?
To supplement the income?
It's a supplemental income. Think of it like commission. Like commission. I don't know.
Commission. There we go.
I considered it. I was approached by someone in college, believe it or not. And I was broke and I considered it, but I was like, no, I'll just get into it. So what I did, I was training people from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'd go to class and then I'd go train more people at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And so so weekends are dead. You don't train people on weekends. People have fun. It was a before and after work thing. So what I did is I got a job at Big Five Sporting Goods in Thousand Oaks, California, and I slanged LA Gear shoes after LA Gear was cool. So it was like poor people buying shoes. It was like stinky feet, bad breath. But I mean, I was making $7.50 an hour, and if I pulled 8-hour days each day, that's 16 hours. So, $7.50 an hour at that time, it did what it needed to do. So I think the problem is that.
But as a man, you did what you could to provide for yourself.
Yeah, and at that point,
the best way you saw fit.
Yeah, at that point, my wife a little bit,
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And you look at like Brad Castleberry, right? Like, and if you guys haven't seen it, I did a few videos making fun of him. Brad Castleberry is one of the most followed people on social media. He just did a video interview with Generation Iron, how he was losing everything and this and that. And so then you see him doing a really cringy OnlyFans ad for his OnlyFans page. And it's like, this guy's one of the best in social media and he loses everything. Now, if this shit all fell through, I'd do whatever it took. I'd go into construction. I'd go into whatever it took to pay my bills. My first inclination wouldn't be, hey, let me oil myself up for dudes. It's just, or even chicks. Like, that's just not what men do.
Going back to Brad Castleberry, kind of proves the whole fake weights thing, though. Doesn't
well,
it?
I mean, the guy's just, what a turd.
He's a genuine piece of shit.
He's a genuine turd. But here's the reason I don't go so hard on him. I legitimately think he has something mentally wrong with him. Nobody is that stupid. Nobody is. So I stopped going hard on him because someone's like, do you think he has like some degree of, and I don't want to say condition to offend people who might have it. And I'm like, I don't know, but there's no way he's that stupid. There's no way he's that stupid without having some mental issues, or he's a psychopath. I'm not sure.
He could be a psychopath.
A psychopathic guy with mental issues. I don't know. But so I think what we're getting at is, I think being a man will come back. And I think men should
I don't think it's ever gone away. I think people are trying to suppress it.
Yeah, and I think that if you hear a woman, oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. Dude, I have men every day. I forgot to talk about this. I was going to fucking put it on the list. I still do a little bit of coaching at marklobliner.com. I do it before we even see each other during the day. It's my 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. job, right?
Got it.
And so, he emailed me. He's like, dude, and this is a guy who came at me overweight. We've been working together for 2 months. He's still overweight. I have a date with a girl out of my league today. I feel better than ever, and I have more confidence than ever. And I want to thank you for that. So this guy's literally in 2 months went from not being able to even date a 4 to probably dating a 6.5, to the point where he's like, dude, how am I dating this chick? At the end of the day, it's not, I just care about what's on the inside. Shut the fuck up. Like, when you go to a club, you're not, man, she looks like she has a great personality.
But with that, you said he's still overweight. So that comes with the confidence of it.
Confidence, and he looks a lot better. Like, I get pictures of him every week. Every week, this dude, like, he's one of those who sticks to the plan.
Yeah.
And every week, I'm like, holy shit, there's like a 5% improvement every week. And that's fantastic. He's losing 2 pounds a week, gaining muscle, getting them newbie gains. And I looked at him and I'm like, and I read that email and I didn't want to like write it. I'm like, yeah, man, that's great. Glad to be here for you. But at the end of that, I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. And that shows, like, at the end of the day, you're more likely when you're fit to get hired for a job. Proven. You're more likely, as this guy shows me, to get chicks that are out of your league when you're in shape and you have that confidence. And I just think that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being masculine. I think that word toxic masculinity, I understand its basis, like the whole like violence and stuff, right? Like
to a degree, it's true, but it's widely, grossly overused.
They call you toxic if you say, hey, look, you know, I like providing for my family. It's toxic masculinity. No, that's called being a good father. That's different. And that's bullshit. They even put the two together. But I want to know your guys' opinion, man. I want you to comment down below as far as whichever platform you're on. What do you think, you know? Yeah. And let us know, man. I mean, you could always give us some ideas of what you want to hear, but you know, we still have good news is we hit none of our topics. So we got a lot to talk about next time. But anyway, let us know your thoughts. This is the GainzCast. Follow Matt Marano at
Matt A. Marano.
Follow me at Marc Lobliner on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the GainzCast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all your favorite podcasts. We're hosted by Anchor, which is a great little site that just makes it easy for us to do analytics and, you know, put all the stuff together and distribute it out there. Yeah. We appreciate you guys listening.
We're growing.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. But, you know, it would help a lot if you guys shared as well. To get the word out there.
Yeah, share this with everybody, especially we do post little clips too.
Yeah,
that you can share.
Yep.
All right, guys, appreciate you guys listening. GainzCast. See you next time.